These owners need to let their football people run the show.
100.
The owners are there to pay the bills. They're
Yep.
not there to run the football side of things.
And yet they still want to run the
Look
football
how that's
side of
worked
things.
Look how that's worked for the Cowboys. 0 Super Bowls since Jerry Jones took over.
And Jimmy Johnson was the reason they were back in prominence.
Yep.
Jimmy Johnson was that reason. Okay, and now they want to, and now this happens.
And you said it best, Jay. Since since Gerald took over as
there you
GM,
go. There you go.
No Super Bowl appearances.
Not since. I mean, they haven't done anything in 20 years.
Nope.
Yeah.
And yet people still want to say that we them boys. After what's gonna happen Sunday? After what's gonna happen Sunday? I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it.
After Sunday, when the 49ers looked like a home game in L.A., it might be the same thing in Arlington, Texas.
It most certainly will be.
Damn right it will be. 80,000 people in Arlington, and 3/4 of them will be 49er fans. Watch.
Now the Rams are coming out saying they were shocked at what happened with the crowd on Sunday.
Yeah,
that's hilarious to me.
And that's also a lie. They knew what was going on. Sean McVay said that we were shocked with the 49er crowd. No, you're not. Just because your team doesn't travel well, Sean McVay, doesn't mean you have to act surprised when your opponent's team travels well, especially within the division.
And this is the first time you played the 49ers at home. So I don't get it.
And while we're at it, everybody who anointed him, the king of football, what has he done?
Please say this again.
Not a damn thing. Thank you.
Please say it again, Jay. Yes.
Please say that. Preach that again, please.
All these people anointing him is the king of football. What has he done?
What makes it worse is you're now starting to see I think one of the worst things that could have happened in recent NFL times was to have that Rams team with Sean McVay leading it gone to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Because it seems like everybody and their mama, until talking about owners wanting to actually dabble into things, they want to hire the next
Sean McVay.
They all want to hire these old Sean McVay assistants.
Yes.
What have they done?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And they want to have the next Sean McVay. They want to have the next young whippersnapper. They want to be the team that says, you know what? We believed in this guy before he became 40 and 45 and 50, where normally that's when head coaches are in the league. But we believed them at 35.
What has Zach Taylor done? And please don't get me started on what Brandon Staley's done with the Chargers.
Oh, you don't have to get me started either.
Nor I.
Because he is the reason why the Chargers. Well, we're not talking about the Chargers being in the playoffs.
Exactly. Exactly. Dave Gettleman from the Giants resigned before they could fire his punk ass.
Oh, what is taking so long on firing Joe Judge? Get rid of him.
What took so long to fire Matt Nagy? What took so long in the Bears organization to finally fire Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace?
Wait, Jay, this is something that I had to ask somebody. Okay, so how is it that if you're a head coach, you call a 3rd and 9 inside your own team,
and you call a quarterback sneak,
and you still have your job? How?
It's unbelievable.
How?
What is taking so long?
Is this?
Oh my gosh!
How the hell is Joe Judge still employed? Okay, that's
a great question.
How the hell is Joe Judge still employed?
Y'all know this as well as I mean. You followed the league for a long time. I mean, up until recently, the Giants were one of the best franchises in football.
Hell yes.
They were
so well
indie franchises. Yes.
And now they're a joke.
They're a big joke.
They were one of the most envy franchises because of their front office and because of ownership.
They've turned into the Jets.
Yeah, they have. This is where I miss Bill Parcells.
4 of the top 10 picks in this coming draft are for New York teams. 4 of the top 10.
4 4 of the top 10 are going to go to New York teams. Oh man, I feel
Correct.
sorry for all 4 of them.
I feel for them.
I feel
I
sorry
feel
for
for
all 4
all of them.
4 are the top 10.
I feel so sorry for
Are
all
going to
4
New
of them.
are going to
I
New
think
York
it's-
teams.
I think it's 4, 5, 7, and 10, if I remember correctly.
Oh, unless it's the Bills, I feel so sorry for them, and I know it's not the Bills.
No, I'm talking about the actual New York City. Well, even though they're in New Jersey, I'm talking about
Right.
Jets and Giants.
Yeah.
4 of the top 10.
Speaking of New Jersey, there was an idiot that filed a lawsuit.
Oh yes.
There was an idiot that filed a lawsuit against the Giants and the Jets.
How dare you call yourself a New York team, but you play New
Jersey. I saw that and laughed my head off.
Thank you for reminding me of that, man.
Why does New Jersey allow it is a better question.
Because they got more space.
They have more space.
No, I'm talking about why they allow them to be called New York. I understand
that's a good question.
Issue, but why aren't they the New Jersey Giants or the New Jersey Jets?
I think the only reason why that's the case is because where they are is basically just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Manhattan. So they decided to say, fine.
River, but...
So I think they just resigned themselves to say, okay, fine, yes, you're New York City teams, got you. Okay. But, yeah, I don't think it makes that much sense from the standpoint of you do have people who live in New Jersey and they're proud to be New Jerseyans and they don't really want to associate themselves with New York as much as people think.
Boy, who are the people who still root for the Jets?
There are people that root for the Jets aside of Bob Wischusen, their radio voice.
Yep.
And him and Gary V.
And
oh God,
Greeny.
Mike Greenberg. Mike Greenberg.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. He is a Jets
Mike
fan. That's
Greenberg. Right. Oh Lord. I think that's where we ought to close with some of this. Mike Greenberg is being, and Cole, you're gonna love my next sentence. Okay. And the people involved. Mike Greenberg is being hung by his nuts.
We should be. He ruined one of the best radio shows of all time by his ego.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly it was done so he can actually do a solo.
Yep. It was
because show.
And Greeny's not, and the show Greeny's not all that. I've listened to it.
Well, nobody watches it.
Nope, nobody watches or listens. It's on. It's got a prime spot on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. Really?
And yeah,
I'm like, how? How?
And the consolation prize for him is now he gets to be the point man for Get Up.
Whoopee.
Whoopee. Whoopee. Yeah, whoopee. Exactly. Oh, we've gone off the board. We've gone off the board today. Listen,
I love
the reason I got into sports talk in the first place was Mike and Mike. I started it.
A lot of people did.
I started it in '95 at Chicago State before Mike and Mike even existed. But after they got into it, and I was a faithful listener for many years. 2012, decided to give it a shot. Had a weekly show. Decided I wanted to do a daily show, which is what you're hearing and listening and watching right now. I figured if they can do it, I can do it. And then it's blown to smithereens. What?
By ego.
By ego.
The best sports show, and gone.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Golick's not even in TV or radio anymore.
He got pushed aside.
Totally pushed aside.
It's a shame too,
and you could tell he was pissed too.
Oh yeah,
really admitted it. You could tell he was pissed.
Yep,
he should have been.
He should be. He should be.
He should have been. He should be now. Because he knew that was a good thing, and it wasn't because it wasn't all because of Greeny. It was good because that was a tandem that absolutely worked.
And what gets me is that when Get Up, especially, and even now, it's not the viewership's not great, but a couple of years ago when it first started and nobody was watching it, they talked about putting Mike and Mike back together, and they just the egos decided not to do that again. Well, no wonder. I don't blame Golick for not wanting to go back.
I don't blame him either.
I
don't blame him either. You shouldn't have broken him up in the first place.
Yeah.
And the only reason they were trying to do anything because apparently the contract they gave Greenberg was enormous.
Yeah.
They didn't want to. They didn't want to cut.
And they made Greenberg the point man for their NBA coverage. Why?
Oh,
that's right. Oh yeah, I forgot the more recent development. Yeah.
Why?
Well, look at all the hosts they've had who've gotten in hot water.
For opening their mouth and putting their foot in it. I too have made that mistake several times. I get it, but But I
don't get what's so great about Greenberg. I mean, to me, it was about them, not him.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That was the draw.
Yeah. And to be perfectly honest, for a guy that covered the NBA during the latter years of the Bulls championships, he's not that knowledgeable with the NBA. At least not to me. Am I missing the mark here?
I don't think he's very knowledgeable. Period.
No.
Am I missing the mark here, gentlemen?
He comes across as a fan that has a narrow scope as to what he watches, what he views, and what he thinks is actually what rates as a sports fan.
That's a good assessment.
Yeah. That's a wonderful assessment.
And
wonderful.
And to have someone like Golick, who was an everyman, who showed that he actually has a ton of knowledge in other sports besides football, it basically made Greenberg more of the moderator, more of the straight man,
which describes Get Up and why no one watches that doggone thing. Yeah,
and so in a combination of him and Golick, it works because he could be a straight man to Golick's everyday man.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's why that show worked. That's exactly why that show worked, because of the contrast in personalities, and yet they put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they ruined Tilly Winger's career by putting him with Golick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they shoved Golick in the toilet, shoved him completely aside.
And now they banked on Golick's son, who is terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man!
Mike G.
He couldn't stay on the Pittsburgh Steelers as an offensive lineman, for God's sakes.
He's terrible. Listen to him call a football game. He's awful.
I did. I covered my ears.
No!
When he does the game, I just mute it. It's terrible.
Oh wow!
You know what?
I have not subjected myself to such a misery.
Don't.
Okay?
Pat. As Ron White said, as comedian Ron White said, pass on that.
Both
pass
Brian
on
and
that.
Jay said, "Don't."
You're not.
Look, from pure unadulterated experience of 20 plus years of announcing sports, in 4 words or 5, Mike Golick Jr. ain't it.
Well, let's face it, he wouldn't have gotten anywhere near where he is unless his last name is Golick.
Exactly.
Nepotism is apparently really good for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are people that get into it because of name recognition, and they work hard to get to where they are. I submit to you Joe Buck. And people hate on Joe Buck. I don't know why.
I don't
get it at all.
Joe Buck, Joe Buck is fabulous. Okay, I will admit when I first heard his voice, I'm like, why isn't he excited with these exciting plays? Then find out what happened, and then heard it with his voice, and then he tells everything what happened. I have a lot of love and respect for Joe Buck.
I don't get it either. I don't get the hate for him either. I like Joe.
I have no issue. I have no issue with Joe Buck. Okay.
I'm saying both of you. I love Joe Buck. I think what people get with him is, if they understand that he's the son of Jack Buck, they want to hear him sort of call games similar to how Jack did.
And that's something I had to get over. All right, because y'all know I love Jack. Y'all know I love Jack Buck. I wanted to hear his son.
Everybody loves Jack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wanted to hear his son sound like his dad, but then, the best piece of advice. Yep. The best piece I ever got is the advice that Joe Buck took. Stay true to yourself.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the advice that Joe Buck took.
And because of that, I love him.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
And because of how he confessed to everything that was going on and his fear and why his voice sounded the way it did in 2011. Still did a great job with the World Series, mind you. I have more respect now for for Joe Buck doing his thing, and you know what? Damn it, he's a Hall of Famer because he stuck true to his nature. He stuck true to himself. Exactly. I love it.
He doesn't take it too seriously. He's clearly having fun.
Yes,
that's what I do.
And
that's what I do.
And he's funny. He's funny.
He's witty. He's very witty. He took everything that was
knowledgeable.
He took everything that was great about his dad and incorporated it into his own personality. And
he could tell stories too. And I love that. And he can call games the way people do it today in Joe Buck's style. And I chef's kiss on him. And I hate the fact that people hate on this guy for no reason.
And they still hate on Joe, even though he's been at it 30 years. Okay, he's been at it 30 years, and it's like, really? Or almost 30 years, I beg your pardon. I'm like, really? Y'all hate on Joe Buck? Why? Well, and I was drawn into the peer pressure of hating Joe Buck, but the more I got to listen to him, and the more I got to know him, and how he, here's a cuss word, treasures the relationship he had with his dad, I can't hate. I got no reason to.
Y'all know I'm a big Braves fan. I've been a Braves fan ever since I was and I listened to the Braves games forever, and it was Skip Carey. And his dad was Harry Carey with the Cubs. And they were the teams that were on all the time before ESPN really got going.
Right.
And
if you wanted to watch a baseball game, it was the Braves and Cubs. And right now, Chip Carey, who is the grandson of Harry and the son of Skip, is the play-by-play guy for the Braves.
Yes.
Well, he just gives. Listen, he's not Skip, he's not Harry, but he's not bad.
Right.
He's not
he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to be
one upside down the other by Braves fans constantly.
What endeared me to Chip Carey when he was the television voice of the Cubs, and the Cubs had a walk-off win against Milwaukee in 1998. That was the day Sammy Sosa hit his 62nd home run. I heard him scream at the top of his lungs, "Grandpa, I got to use it." Holy cow, what a comeback.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
And I love...
He shouldn't have to, compete with his dad and his grandfather. I mean, like you were just saying earlier, they're their own selves. I mean,
they're being themselves. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Skip, his voice automatically was so dynamically different than Harry's and Chip's. It's like, well, I could appreciate this because he sounds like a unique delivery. Same with Harry, same with Chip.
Before Skip had his health problems, he was so good. He was so good, so funny, and so witty. He was so good. He made the Braves were terrible in the 80s and early 90s.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, they were.
He made the games fun to watch.
He did. He did. That's the whole point of being a play-by-play announcer. And this is from someone who's done it 24 years. Someone who's done it 24 years. You have to make it fun, especially during the down times. In the immortal words of Kobe Bryant, you got to make it fun during the down times.
What about your Homer boy, Brian? You know the Homers.
You know a Homer I love listening to, like when he really, really gets emotional? Paul Allen from the Vikings. He gets into it. And I love that he gets into it.
I think I actually crack up when I hear him give his touchdown call.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my gosh, he's about to lose it.
Look, I borrowed that touchdown call. I borrowed that touchdown call, and it's my staple.
But what I find even funnier, and I love when you say this, Jay. What I find even funnier is when a bad thing happens to the Vikings, he masks none of it.
No, he doesn't. And that.
What about the obnoxious homers who see no fault in their teams whatsoever?
Oh, they
just
are
rooting some more.
And they say nothing. They say nothing.
You know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I do. It's a common homer with Jay and I. All right.
Heck, please enlighten me.
It's disgusting how much of a homer it is.
I don't want to give his name. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Desmond Johnson.
Doesn't deserve the name. Doesn't deserve the name recognition, but it's just disgusting.
It is. Dear God, it is. There's no reality. I said it. There's no. Doggone it.
Listen, I understand when you're the play-by-play guy, a regular play-by-play guy for such and such thing. You got to do things a little differently. I understand that.
Yeah.
I do too.
Absolutely.
But to see no fault in your team whatsoever on a regular basis, come on.
Look at the posts that our favorite Homer friend puts up.
Oh, all the time.
Do I have to? I mentioned Paul Allen, and I have a montage here. We're going to close the show with this. There it is.
Joseph, come on! It is gone! No, he missed it. Good. Are you kidding me? He missed it right.
He missed it right.
Oh, my heavens.
Oh, my.
He missed it right.
What a gut punch.
As you said, Cole, he masks none of it.
That play after play, toward the end, fought its way back.
The closest I've ever heard him.
Blair Walsh.
Okay, this is my favorite. This is my favorite.
Snap good, spot down. Walsh's kick is up, and it is no good. He missed it. Are you kidding me? The season can't end like that. He missed it left. And the Seattle Seahawks are off to Charlotte. Blair Walsh missed a 27-yard field goal, and the Minnesota Vikings are going to lose 10-9.
I love that particular call. And why is that my favorite, or one of my favorites? I got another favorite here. Matter of fact, do y'all remember 2003 Vikings and Cardinals?
I do.
I was about to mention that. Yes,
okay.
I couldn't remember the year. I thought this it was 2002 or 2004. Okay.
This is for anybody that's been a play-by-play announcer, is a play-by-play announcer that has gone through it.
They have to go deep into the end zone.
We better put some people in the end zone, right, Joe?
That's exactly right.
I mean, there's nobody inside the 10.
Get back, guys.
Here it is. The season's on the line. Two receivers left and right. McCown takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No! The Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoffs.
It may have been in the loss, but best call ever.
I was gonna say that was probably the closest one I ever heard him emotionally, energetically say something
lose
negative about his team. Yeah. But almost every time I've heard, like, if it's a pick, you probably played the 2009 NFC Championship game.
Yeah, where he said, "Why do you even ponder passing?" I think I have that. I do. Okay. We're coming up short on time here. Dr. K's giving me the wrap-up signal. All right, let's have a couple more minutes. You're going to hear the call where Blair Walsh missed the field goal, and then behind that, you'll hear Brett Favre's interception.
7 yards left hash. Snap good, spot down. Walsh's kick is up, and it is no good. He missed it. Are you kidding me? The season can't end like that. He missed it left. And the Seattle Seahawks are off to Charlotte. Blair Walsh missed a 27-yard field goal, and the Minnesota Vikings are going to lose 10-9.
Favre goes back to pass. He pumps. Now he fires over the middle. Intercepted. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. It was intercepted by Tracy Porter, near side to the 40, and John Sullivan runs him down at the 47-yard line. You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe what I just saw.
Looking at that play, he should have just held on to it, Paul. He should have. He could have easily gotten 5 or 6 yards if he would have just pulled that thing down and dove forward.
But why do you even ponder passing? I mean, you can take a knee and try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Just the emotional drop off in voice. That's what always gets me every time I hear that.
Intercepted. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. It's a combination of what the hell are you doing and oh my Lord.
I don't believe this. Yeah. I love it.
Oh man. Jay Spivey, thank you so much, my man. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome,
I really,
man.
really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
You guys are quite welcome. I enjoyed it as always.
All right. Thank you, Jay.
Look forward to it next time.
We'll do it next week. Thank you, Jay.
Have a great week, guys.
Yep.
Take care.
You too, Jay.
Bye.
That Paul Allen call against New Orleans. I don't know which one of those four are my favorite. It's my all-time favorite. But, man. Oh, goodness.
I love it.
Oh, boy. Tomorrow we got, of course, Bronze Sexual Confessions. There will be 2 of them. We're going to spend some more time with play-by-play announcers because I think I'm going to put a Jim Durham collage together. More NBA chatter. Baseball, Major League Baseball is tone deaf. We're definitely going to hit that. And I have an email to send.
Oh.
Yeah. I got a few of them to send. Let's get out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. I took off my glasses. Now I got to take out the dog. I'm out of here. See you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.